everything we do in audit is about risk. And when we talk about PCI DSS, we're talking about 12.2, a risk assessment. Now, risk assessments are not just sitting down and going, this is bad, this is good. Okay, there's a little bit more to it than that. There's industry accepted or common frameworks that you would need to use to perform your risk assessment. Things like NIST, ISO 27001, failure mode and effects analysis, FMEA, or even Octave that was developed by Carnegie. Once you've got those, it gets a little bit more particular in PCI. DSS 12.2 actually says it needs to be performed annually, which is kind of a given. The part I like about it is upon any significant changes to your network. If we're putting this in AWS parlance, then it's moving from one VPC to another may not do it, but moving from a VPC into a Lambda setup could very well be considered a significant change. It identifies, your risk assessment has to identify assets, threats, and the vulnerabilities to those threats. Now, sometimes that can get a little murky, but if you're looking at AWS, you're looking at things like the security on your S3 buckets, the way you manage your key management, multi-factor for your authentication. Those kind of things have a significant impact on your overall risk profile for your AWS environment. So while there may not be a specific tool within AWS, the risk assessment counts everywhere. So remember, when you're developing your risk assessment for PCI DSS, it needs to be based on a formal foundation, recognized industry standard. It needs to cover risks, threats, and vulnerabilities relative to the assets in the system. And all of that is relative to how we transport, process, and secure and store cardholder data.